Hi students, in our previous lecture we have learnt Laplace transform of multiplication by t power n, Laplace transform of divisible by t, Laplace transform of integrals. In the present lecture we will discuss about a particular type of definite integrals we can evaluate by Laplace transforms, that's called evaluation of integrals. See here, if we ask the question like evaluate integral 0 to infinity t into e power minus 2t cos 3t dt. One thing you remember, all integrals, all definite integrals cannot get by this Laplace transforms. Only the integrals like from 0 to infinity only can applicable. So see the question number here. F of t is equal t cos 3t I am taking. Sir, why you are taking f of t equal t cos 3t? From the morning lecture also, whenever we have exponential that we are trying to avoid aside. So f of t is equal to t into cos 3t. See, L of f of t is equal to L of t into cos 3t. From the previous lecture, here g of t is cos 3t. You take Laplace on both sides. L of g of t is equal to L of cos 3t. G of s is equal to s by s square plus 9. See, you go back to the assumption L of f of t is equal to L of t into g of t, which can be given by multiplication by t minus d by ds of g of s. You can apply u by v formula. This you are getting. This is a simplification. So you concentrate on left side. It is nothing but L of f of t. By the definition of the Laplace transform, I can write integral 0 to infinity e power minus st into f of t dt. So here my f of t is what here? T cos 3t. So when you observe the question, to get that format, how much I should replace s? S is equal to 2. So finally 0 to infinity e power minus 2t into t cos 3t dt is equal to 2 square minus 9 by 2 square plus 9 whole square. It's nothing but minus 5 by 169. Some people may get doubt. Suppose our exponential function is not there. If exponential function is not there, we simply put s is equal to 0. That is very easy thing. So come to the second problem. Integral 0 to infinity e power minus t into sin square t dt. So exponential function we keep aside. F of t is equal to sin square t. That is nothing but 1 minus cos 2t by 2. L of f of t is equal to, we can get by previous methods. So here L of f of t is nothing but what here by the definition 0 to infinity e power minus st into f of t dt. To get your question, how much I should write in the place of s? S is equal to 1. My answer is 2 by 5. See, from the previous lecture, we can get this. Evaluate integral 0 to infinity cos at minus cos bt by t into dt. For this case, we have no exponential function. We don't bother about exponential function. Whatever f of t is there, that we take it cos at minus cos bt by t. From the previous lecture, L of f of t is equal to what? 1 by 2 log of s square plus b square by s square plus a square. This we can get from the previous lecture. So here left side I am applying Laplace transform integral 0 to infinity e power minus st into f of t dt. That is nothing but 1 by 2 log of s square plus b square by s square plus a square. So in according to the question, there is no exponential term. That's why we write simply s is equal to 0. 0 to infinity cos at minus cos bt by t into dt is equal to 1 by 2 log of b by a whole square. That is nothing but 2 cancel, because m log a power m is m log a. Your answer is log b by a. So these kind of problems absolutely we can get by Laplace transforms. Only definite integrals of the format 0 to infinity can applicable over here. So my dear friends, this is only Laplace transforms. From the previous lectures, lecture 1, lecture 2, lecture 3 covers Laplace transforms. So now still all the questions in T domain, answers in S domain. Now I am going for another topic, inverse Laplace transforms. Next part of the unit number 5 is inverse Laplace transforms. Where is the change? Now the question in terms of S, your answer should be in terms of T. That's the inverse Laplace transform. So I can define here, if L of f of t is equal to f of s, now onwards I can write L inverse of f of s is equal to f of t. L inverse of f of s is equal to f of t. Look at here the formulas. L of 1 is 1 by s. Now onwards L inverse of 1 by s is 1. L of e power a t is 1 by s minus a. Now onwards L inverse of 1 by s minus a is e power a t. L of t power n is n factorial by s power n plus 1. Now onwards L inverse of 1 by s power n, I can write it as t power n minus 1 by n minus 1 factorial. L of sin a t is a by s square plus a square. So L inverse of 1 by s square plus a square is sin a t by a. Look at here, whatever the constant is there in the left side, that we are trying to keep in right side. L of cos a t is s by s square plus a square. Then L inverse of s by s square plus a square is cos a t. L of sin h a t is a by s square minus a square. Then L inverse of 1 by s square minus a square is sin h a t by a. L of cos h a t is s by s square minus a square. Then L inverse of s by s square minus a square is cos h a t. So again these 7 formulas are running inverse Laplace transforms. But here I am telling one simple thing for all. You concentrate on denominators. Wherever you want to apply inverse Laplace transform, you try to concentrate on existed 7 denominators. Here s is there, here s minus a is there, here s power n is there, here s square plus a square is there. In these 2 occasions, s square minus a square is there. According to the denominators, we can apply very simple manner. Please all of you look at here, L inverse of 7s plus 8 by s square plus 16. So when you want to apply L inverse, you look at denominator s square plus a square. Then I can allow, because it matches any one of the 7 denominators. So I can write simply 7 is outside L inverse of s by s square plus 4 square plus 8 into L inverse of 1 by s square plus 4 square. 7 cos 4t plus 8 by 4 sin 4t. So please come to here, L inverse of 4s plus 3 by 9s square plus 25. So denominator matches with s square plus a square, but one thing you remember here, s square coefficient must be 1. To get that format, you people have to take 9 common from the denominator. L inverse of 4s plus 3 by s square plus 5 by 3 whole square. Now 4 by 9 is one part. 4 by 9 is one part. This is you are writing L inverse of s by s square plus 5 by 3 whole square. That is nothing but cos 5 by 3 t. So here 1 by s square plus 5 by 3 whole square, nothing but sin of 5 by 3 t by 5 by 3. So this is answer. Now come down to this problem, L inverse of s square plus 2 whole square by s power 5. Don't look at numerator, you look at denominator, s power 5. S power 5 is nothing but our third formula, s power n. So whenever it matches the denominator, then simply you expand the numerator. Then we can apply linear property over here also. Linear property of Laplace transforms exist, as well as linear transform of inverse Laplace transform is exist. So I can separate it plus sign. So L inverse of 1 by s, 4 into L inverse of 1 by s cube. Here 4 into L inverse of 1 by s power 5. See, L inverse of 1 by s is 1 plus 4 into what is L inverse of 1 by s power 3. S power n is t power n minus 1 by n minus 1 factorial. Na? Here t square by 2 factorial plus 4 into t power 4 by 4 factorial. Please come down to the here, L inverse of 1 by root s. Root s is nothing but s power 1 by 2. S power 1 by 2, definitely it follows formula number 3. So s power 1 by 2 means n is 1 by 2. T to the power of 1 by 2 minus 1 by 1 by 2 minus 1 factorial. That is nothing but t power minus 1 by 2 by minus 1 by 2 factorial. See, from the morning class, n factorial is equal to gamma n plus 1. Minus 1 by 2 factorial is equal to gamma of minus 1 by 2 plus 1. That is nothing but gamma of is fixed root pi. Finally, L inverse of 1 by root s is what here? 1 by root pi t. 1 by root pi t. So this is the way you have to apply inverse Laplace transform based on the observation of denominator. So here also there are applications. Again we are getting first shifting theorem. What it says, if L inverse of f of s is equal to f of t, you people identify one thing. So in previous all lectures, every statement I made it L of f of t is equal to f of s. But here I am writing L inverse of f of s is equal to f of t. Then L inverse of f of s minus a is equal to e power at into f of t. So in previous lectures, whatever the first shifting theorem is there, that we are getting in reverse order over here. Earlier occasion, anything is multiple of exponential given by first shifting theorem, but here L inverse of f of s minus a is presenting as e power at into f of t. You people observe here, what is there? Group terms are there. What is there here? Group terms are there. What is the group term? In the place of s, we are having s minus a terms. So here all the students, one simple logic I am providing for identification. You people, whenever you find out L inverse problem, first you compare with 7 denominators. If not matching with 7 denominators, then immediately you come down to first shifting theorem. You can follow like this procedure, then only we are able to solve the problems. If you are following in mixed manner, then we are unable to get procedure. See, whenever we can observe with 7 denominators, if nothing should be matched, then immediately you come down to first shifting theorem. What it says? L inverse of 1 by s plus r minus a to the power of r, where r is greater than 1. Why r is greater than 1? If r is equal to 1, according to the formula number 2, I can write either e power minus 80 or e power plus 80. Go to the previous page and check it. S plus r minus a power 1 is there, I can directly get by the 7 denominators. But when power is more than 1, definitely it fails the existence of denominators. I can allow first shifting theorem, or L inverse of 1 by quadratic form. Quadratic form is nothing but like as square plus bs plus c. Our previous formulas gives only s square plus a square or s square minus a square. If that notation is allowed directly, other than that notation like as square plus bs plus c is exists, in these two occasions definitely we follow first shifting theorem. So look at here all of you, first problem, L inverse of 1 by s plus 3 whole square. L inverse of 1 by s plus 3, I know I can write e power minus 3t from the formula number 2. But here s plus 3 whole square is there. Observe here power is more than 1. When power is more than 1, definitely I can apply first shifting theorem. So L inverse of 1 by s plus 3 whole square, we can write it as e power minus 3t into L inverse of 1 by s square. Here plus 3 comes out as the multiplication of exponential e power minus 3t. So now it falls under the existed denominators. L inverse of 1 by s square, I can write t power 2 minus 1 by 1 factorial. So come to the second problem, L inverse of 1 by s square plus 2s plus 5. It is not matching with the existed denominators. Then you come down to here, we know from our school classes grouping method. S square plus 2s plus 5, I can write s square plus 2 into s into 1, adding 1 square and subtracting 1 square. Got my point? I am grouping, I am writing in grouping form. S square plus 2 into s into 1 plus adding 1 square, subtracting 1 square, or else from the 5 I can write it as 1 plus 4. See, first 3 terms I can write it as s plus 1 whole square plus 2 square. See, L inverse of 1 by s plus 1 whole square plus 2 square is what here? S plus 1 is group term, na? It comes out as e power minus t. The remaining is what here? L inverse of 1 by s square plus 2 square is what here? Sin 2t by 2. This is second model, is very, very important one. Come down to third one. See the denominator, it never matches. So s square plus 6s plus 13, I can write s square plus 2 into s into 3 plus adding 3 square, subtracting 3 square plus 13. But instead of adding and subtracting, here 13 I can write 9 plus 4. What is the group term is there? S plus 3 whole square plus 2 square. So L inverse of denominator is what here, s plus 3 whole square plus 2 square. In the previous problem, for the numerator there exists a constant, I have no problem at all. For this case, in the numerator, instead of constant, s is there. When s is there, whatever the group term is there in the denominator, same group term you should get in the numerator also. On that notation, s plus 6 I can write it as s plus 3 plus 3. So now you can partition s plus 3 by s plus 3 whole square plus 2 square plus 3 into L inverse of 1 by s plus 3 whole square plus 2 square. Here from the group term s plus 3, it comes out as the e power minus 3t into L inverse of s by s square plus 2 square plus 3 into, here plus 3 comes out as e power minus 3t L inverse of 1 by s square plus 2 square. Here this is cos 2t, here this is sin 2t by 2. So come down to the problem number 4, s square minus 4s plus 8. What should I write? S minus 2 whole square plus 2 square. 1 by s minus 2 square plus 2 square. But here there is no s term in the numerator. We have no problem at all. Directly e power 2t into L inverse of 1 by s square plus a square. S square plus 2 square, what should I write? Sin 2t by 2. You come down to the problem number 5. What is the denominator? S square plus 2s plus 10. This is, I can write it as s plus 1 whole square plus 3 square. So denominator is s plus 1 whole square plus 3 square. When denominator there exists a group term s plus 1 square plus 3 square, same term you should get in the numerator by adding 1 and subtracting 1. So if s is not there, we don't take this risk. If s is there, whatever the group available in the denominator, that term you should get in the numerator. For that purpose, I can add 1 and subtract 1. So L inverse of s plus 1 by s plus 1 whole square plus 3 square minus L inverse of s plus 1 whole square plus 3 square. So this e power minus t into L inverse of s by s square plus 3 square minus e power minus t into L inverse of 1 by s square plus 3 square. This is what here cos 2t, this is what here sin 3t by 3. Same manner, sixth problem also you can apply it. But very important topic is here, first shifting theorem. You people follow this page very carefully. Either group term like first problem or else quadratic form from the second to 6 exist, then we should convert into group. So this is grouping available from our 8th or 9th class standard. Same logic we can apply, adding and subtracting. Finally you can get either a plus b whole square form or a minus b whole square form. But whenever s is exist in the numerator, whatever the grouping available in the denominator as a plus b form or a minus b form, according to that in the numerator also you have to change it. So these things you should follow very carefully. First you go for 7 denominators. If our question matches, our question denominator matches existed 7 denominators, you directly apply it. If not, then immediately you think about first shifting theorem. Whatever the order I am following, you follow the same manner, we can catch it very easily. So this is second shifting theorem. Now we'll come down to second shifting theorem. Second shifting theorem states what here? If L inverse of f of s is equal to f of t, then L inverse of e power as into f of s is equal to f of t minus a into h of t minus a. Listen here carefully. Any function which is multiple of exponential comes under second shifting theorem. Look at here. Any function multiple of exponential which results in f of t minus a into h of t minus a. So don't get confusion. In the lecture number 3, in the lecture number 2 we were discussed unit step function h of t minus a. H of t minus a is nothing but what here? Its value is 1 when t is greater than a, its value is 0 when t is less than a. So that is the statement of second shifting theorem. So see here problem, L inverse of e power minus pi s by s square plus 1. We can easily identify this question because it is multiple of exponential. See all of you, L inverse of e power minus pi s into 1 by s square plus 1. F of s is what here? 1 by s square plus 1. L inverse on both sides, 1 by s square plus 1 is matched denominator sin t. Then L inverse of e power minus pi s into f of s is what here? F of t minus pi into h of t minus pi, because here a value is pi. then sin of t minus pi into h of t minus pi. So come to this question, it is also multiple of exponential, but here f of s is what here, s by s square plus 4s plus 5. It is not matching with the existed 7 denominators, then I can apply grouping method from the previous page. I can get f of t is like this. Whenever you get f of t, L inverse of e power minus 2s into f of s is what here, f of t minus 2 into h of t minus 2. So in the place of t, we can write t minus 2. Finally, it is multiple of h of t minus 2. See, this whole f of t we can get by first shifting theorem. Finally, t can transform as t minus 2 using second shifting theorem. See, L inverse of e power minus s by s plus 4 power 3 by 2. So it is multiple of exponential, f of s is 1 by s plus 4 power 3 by 2. So when you observe this, it is never matches the existed 7 denominators, it comes under first shifting theorem. So grouping term is there na in the denominator, plus 4 comes out as minus 4, e power minus 4t into L inverse of 1 by s power 3 by 2. According to formula number 3, t power 3 by 2 minus 1 by 3 by 2 minus 1 factorial. 3 by 2 minus 1 factorial is nothing but 1 by 2 factorial. 1 by 2 factorial is nothing but gamma 1 by 2 plus 1. Gamma n plus 1 is what here, n into gamma n, that is nothing but 1 by 2 into gamma 1 by 2, that is nothing but root pi by 2. So this is total f of t. It is multiple of exponential na, where a is 1. So in the place of t, you can transform as t minus 1. This is second shifting theorem. So you people follow this manner. Any function is which is multiple of exponential, we can apply second shifting theorem. So remaining things we will discuss in the next lecture. Thank you.